This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, we can.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so now you are able to see my screen, right? The UiPath Studio, everything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm really sorry for this technical issue.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay. So, okay. Now, so today we will discuss about the Excel activities. The Excel, so I don't have a PPT here, so this is a different system. Anyway, yeah, so we will discuss about the Excel automation. Okay, Excel automation. So normally, so in many organizations, people use the Excel to store the data and to do some calculations, charts. There is a lot of functionalities are there in the Excel. So basically, Excel looks like actually, so okay, this is Excel. Excel has a rows and columns. Okay, so Excel looks like it is a structured data. The structured data meaning is so the data is stored in the rows and columns. Okay, rows and columns. So the columns were just the columns we can identify by using the alphabets. Okay, A, B, C, D, like that alphabets. If you go beyond Z, okay, so after Z it will start. Can you see here? It starts from the AA, AB, AC, AD, like that. Okay, so this is a keep on going again. This is after AZ, so again BA, BB, BC, like that. Okay, so this columns. So how we are, I mean, identifying the columns. So based on column name, so there is a B, like that. Okay, column name letter. Okay, that is based on that. And the rows we are identifying based on the numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, like that. So we have numbers like so the row has the numbers. Okay, so each cell has a address. Each cell has the address. The address is like a column name plus row number. Okay, so for example, column name is D, and the column row number is 6. That is a D6 is a address of that particular cell. So what is the address of the selected cell now? The selected cell now is a H. See the column H, and this one. So I'm just saying that this selected cell, the yellow cell, what is the address? H8, right? Okay, H8. So what is the address of this one? D4, right? D4. Okay, so and that one, and there is a range. Range is also there. Okay, data range, cell range. The range is like a so starting column, starting cell address colon ending cell address. Okay, suppose if you have a range, suppose for example, let me clear this one. Okay, so I selected this whole thing. The selection part, what is the range? Where it is starting? The C3 it started, right? The C3 it started, and where it is ended the selection? E9, right? E9. So let us see to something H10 like that. So this is a example looks like that one. Okay, so that's a range. Range in the sense the starting cell address and the ending cell address is called a range. Okay, normally we're using Excel to store the data. Let me store the data something like a name, age, class. Okay, uh, so we have a data. So let me save this one into the desktop. Okay, data student, something like that. Okay. So this is the Excel. We have an Excel that has a sheet. Okay, so Excel has a initially there is a sheet, different type of sheets. So they can mention here is a student details, and next you can create another sheet called HR details, and then you can create called IT details, and you can create it called orders. Okay, so you have a different type of sheets available in this Excel. So each sheet is having the separate data. Okay, so so here to read this data, okay, to read this data from the UiPath, so we have a two types of activities. So UiPath provides the two types of activities. So two types of activities, okay, to do the same work. Okay. So to do the same type of action, they provide the two types of activities for the Excel. Can you see here in the UiPath Studio activities panel? Uh, if you just type into, so how many activities are there for the type into? So one activity, right? So what it will do? It will type into the text boxes wherever it is. Okay. So this to do the same type of work, same type of action, we have a single activity, but to do the same type of action, we have a two types of activities in the activities panel for doing the Excel automation. Suppose if you want to read range, how many activities you are finding? Can you bring in the chat window? How many activities we have? The read range, the same name. We have two types of activities, right? Read range under app integrations. You have to keep okay. You have to keep in mind this one. Read range under app integration under Excel. There is a read range. Under read range is system file workbook read range. So you should have this the tree actually is where it is. So one activities. Suppose if you see the activities like a write range, the same areas. One activity is under app integration Excel, and another activity is under system file workbook. So this is a very important thing. So this is a common question most of the interviews they will ask. So what is the difference between the two types of Excel activities? So the Excel activities under app integration Excel, and that Excel activities under workbook activities. So what is the difference between these two? That is a very important. That means so many interviews they will ask, and you should know about this. Why they provided two types of activities. Okay. So now, so we will say first one is a app integration and app integration Excel. Okay. Second one is a system, right? Under that file, under that workbook. So this is a two types of two places where the same type of Excel activities, but the work they both are doing the same thing. Okay, the work both are doing the same thing. So why they provided there's two things. The first reason is if you use any activities, the Excel activities under the Excel, that means under the app integration, so the robot, where the robot is running, in that system, that system should have the MS Excel software installed, should be installed. Okay, okay, MS Office or Excel. Okay, MS Office software should install. Okay, that is the first thing. Okay, so if you have a, if you just uh, install, that means if you use any activities under the app integration and Excel, so what we require, so we should install, that means mm, that system where the robot is running, whether it is a production system, right? At the end, it is a production system. The production system should have the Office installed, Office software installed. Otherwise, it won't work if you use the activities under Excel app integration. Okay, here that's the first one. Here, if you use the activities under workbook, system file workbook. Okay, okay. So these no need any Office software. Normally we have a Office, MS Office software, right? So Excel, Word, PowerPoint, this things and all. So no need to install. So if you have already installed the Office system, that's not a problem, but it is not required. So why it is not required? The activities which you are using under the system file workbook, under workbook, these are dealing with the directly file system, not using the software. Okay, so why this difference? Sometimes this MS Office software is not free of cost, right? It has a license. They have to, okay, pay for that. Okay, so if some companies, some organizations, they don't have a licenses, many licenses, they don't have to bear that license cost. In virtual missions, we don't have MS Office. We don't, MS Office software, it work properly. Yeah. So Sajib is telling that, okay, we don't have a, yeah, you can ping in the, okay, not private, normally you can ping in to everyone, Sajib. Okay, so in virtual missions or in the production server, sometimes there is no MS software installed. Okay, they can't bear the license cost for this particular single robot. Okay, single, then we can use in the work under workbook. Okay, that's the first difference. Okay, if you are not understanding, please let me know immediately so that we can, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Sudhir. Like there is a lag in between, and your voice is just breaking up. Not sure it's my network or is everyone facing it.
So all of you facing the same issue. My voice is not clear. Oh, same problem.
Sometimes it's clear, most of the time it is not clear. I'm also facing
Oh,
same issue.
so maybe. So what about now? Now it might. What about now? Are you getting clear voice from now? Hello?
A bit of echo.
Echo. Now? Hello?
Yeah, it's clear now.
It's clear now. It's clear now. It's better now.
Okay, okay. Okay, so continue. This is the first difference. The second difference is, so if Excel is opened, suppose let's discuss here itself. Okay. The second difference is if Excel is in open by someone, uh, it so while the robot, suppose just imagine the robot is scheduled in the 5 o'clock morning. Okay, so while the robot is running, someone is opened that Excel. So they forgot to close that Excel. Suppose imagine the situation like the same server. The server is used by the robot as well as the sometimes the users also log into the server and they will check the Excel. Okay, sometimes they forgot to close the Excel. Okay, so if they forgot to close the Excel and in the scheduled time, the robot comes and try to access the same Excel which is already opened. Okay, so it won't work. Okay, it won't work in the if you use a workbook activities. Okay, if you use a workbook activities, it won't work. Sometimes if you see, suppose this is the Excel I opened, right? The data students. But if I just try to delete this one, so it is saying that the action cannot be completed because it is where is open, right? That type of issues will come if you use the activities under workbook. Okay, if you use the activities under workbook in that same time, so if anyone is accessing or any other robot is accessing the same parallelly, then it won't work. So it will throw exception. It will throw exception. There is some error like the process is used by another person like that. Okay, so here the second point, if you use activities under X. mm, Yeah, that's good questions by Sajib. Okay, Sajib. So he's asking, so as we don't have a MS Office, so how it will open Excel, right? So this is not mandatory. Just see in the second point, the second point, the under workbook. So the first point is a no need any office software. Okay, no need. Okay, it's not like a if you don't have a MS software, then only it will work. I'm not saying that. Okay, so it may you may have MS Office software and you're using the activities under workbook. In that time, you open the you open the Excel by using the Excel software. Understand? Okay, so it's not mandatory. Okay, so the MS of software, whether it's there in your system or not there in your system, so it will work for the second type of activities, workbook activities basically. So we can call like the first one is Excel activities, the second one is a workbook activities. Okay, we can call like that. So okay, yeah. Second point is also even if Excel open by someone or some other process, like if I say someone, some other process or some other robot or some other human, so it will work. Okay, that is the second point. Okay, the third one is it requires Excel application scope. Okay, so there is an Excel application scope. So if you just use this normally, just drag and drop. See, suppose if you drag and drop, it will work. So if you give the path and the data table, it will work. Suppose just try to read right right cell. Okay, there is a right cell if you want to write in cell. So right cell, if you just drag and drop the right cell, there is a part of the cell. If you just open this one, and the sheet name. This is the sheet name or sheet one. I'm just putting the sheet one only. So that okay. So just we'll see the D8. D8 we will update. Okay. So here the D8 some text. Okay. Text. Let us run, and it is done. Okay. If you open this one, so D8 it is updated, right? So writing the writing into the cells, writing into the cells. Okay. The same thing. Let's remove and save it again, and go to the this one and try to access the right cell under this one. Okay. The right cell, if you use the D8 and so Excel text something. So it is having the issue, right? So what is it? What is this? Just read it out. Activity is valid only inside the Excel application scope. So you have a lot of activities, Excel activities under Excel, under app integration Excel, but all the activities is only valid within the Excel application scope. It's not a, it is a depending on the Excel application scope, because here we give the path. So what is the difference between these two? These two are doing the same type of work. The work of this activity is updating the cell, writing the some text into the Excel cell. Okay, so we give the sheet name and the range, the cell address and the text. But here we give the path of the Excel, right? But this, the above activity does not have a path which Excel. Okay, the sheet we mentioned which Excel, right? For that, so we have to give Excel application scope, Excel application scope. And so this Excel application scope having that the path, and you can perform this all the activities inside the Excel application scope. So what I'm saying here is, see, under app integration, there is a Excel, CSV. Okay, a lot of things are there. Okay, so let's open the Excel. Excel, there is a process table. These are all the Excel activities. Okay, a lot of actions. Reading the range, reading this column, read cell formula. Okay, read row, save workbook, select range, set color. There is a lot of activities. Not only that, on the table there is a lot of activities again, and here process also you have so many activities. Okay, so these all activities only valid under Excel application scope. Got it? Under Excel application scope. If you drag anything without Excel application scope, it won't work, because so each activity is should not have the path of the Excel. By Excel application scope, you can drag any number of things within the Excel application scope. Okay, this will perform all the actions for that particular Excel file. Okay. Next, so we'll do the same thing. I'm just commenting out this one. So the same text. Let me open this Excel. The Excel is open now, and I'm trying to run this process. Okay. What we used? We use the Excel activity under the workbook. What it is saying? The process cannot access this file because it is being used by another process. Got it? That is the point where we have a second point. The robot in robot running time, the Excel is opened by someone, so it won't work, right? It won't work. So make sure that you just kill all the Excel processes. So okay, let me comment this one and expand this, enable this one. In the same way, Excel is open. Excel is open, and I'm running this one. Okay. Same action. Now see, it is updated. It is updated. Okay. So if you use a if you use a F2 to F18, just try to give the here F2 to F18, something like that. So update the text. If even though Excel is open, it will work. Okay. So you have to give like this, right? D2 to D18, 38. Okay, so this is a range. So what is the range? So as we discussed here in the above, the range is like a starting cell address colon and ending cell address. The range you should give in the double quotes. Starting cell address and ending cell address. That will be done. So the right side you have UiPath and left side you have a Excel open. So even though Excel is open, so it is working fine. Got it? That is the second point. Second point. And so Excel application scope we saw, right? So it won't allow is required for all activities. So here all activities are independent. Okay, so any activity. So here, so in the same way, if you see the system, file, workbook, these are all the activities, few activities. So these are all the few activities. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 activities. So there is no more activities compared to the normal Excel activities, right? Under application. These are all independent. Okay, independent. You have to provide the Excel path for. So we have to keep this one outside. You can keep in inside also, but not a problem. Not a problem. But that is a independent. Okay. Okay, these are all independent. So here there it is asking the path only. That's why the error is. It's not required any Excel application scope. Okay, and that is the one. So let us go for the formulas. Okay, that means this fourth one is a formula. Okay, and there is a right here. Okay, so what it means? So let us say Excel has a age, right? A date of year. Okay, I'm just saying the date of year. So date of year, what is the form of date of year? So 2020, that is the current date, current year minus this age. So what is this person born on 1986? Okay, so what is the formula here? 2020 minus B2. Understand? B2. If I just drag this one for entire data, it automatically convert that second row is a B3. See the address. See the address of the Excel. Okay, B4, B5, right? So we will do the same thing by using the Excel workbook here. So let me remove everything. Okay, everything, and just drag the sequence. So we will use first of all we will use by using the workbook activities. Okay. System workbook activities or right range or right cell. Okay, right cell. So the path you just mentioned the path. Sheet 1, and here what is the range? What is the range just ping in the chat window? What is the range we have to update? D2 to D5, right? That's what here. D2 to D5. That's the range. So let's mention here D2 to D5. 5. and apply the formula. So what is the formula we have to equal to 2020 minus B2, correct? Okay, so let's apply the same formula from D2 to D5. So I'm just closing this Excel because we are using the activities under workbook. Let's run. It's done. Let me open this file. It is updated. Okay. See the formulas. Formulas are updated. Got it? Formulas are updated. What is the issue? Is it correct or is there any issue? Is there? There is some issue because see. So what is the issue? So it's an issue. Okay, it's an issue. So why so B2 the formula you can observe here in this address bar. Okay. So same here coming for all the students. So here B2 again B2 in the D3 also it is a B2. In the D4 also it is a B2. In the D5 also it is a B2. Formula is not working properly, right? That means okay, it will copy just like that. Okay, like the value. Okay. So let us do the same kind of work with the okay. Okay, now I am saving and so do the same type of work using the Excel application scope. What is that? Write. If you want to write anything, you have to use the write cell. I'm just copying this Excel path. Excel path you should keep in the double quotes. And here is a range. I'm just copying from the earlier that one. The same formula, copy paste. Okay. Just remove this one. So what we are using now? We are using the activity, the right cell activity under Excel. Okay, under this, run it. See the difference. See the difference. Now there's a B2, B3. So we didn't mention any plus B3 right here. We mentioned only B2, but automatically it will convert B3, B4, B5, right? Understand? That is the difference. Do you all understand the fourth difference? The fourth difference is a formula. Okay, if you want to apply the formulas, so do this part. Okay, use the Excel application scope and the right cell activity. Okay, now so this is the differences. I will ask these questions, these differences. If you want to take a picture, take a picture. So okay, at the end of the class, I will ask these questions. Okay, you have to answer. Okay, now so this is a address. Okay, now so here so to read to write anything, write or read. Okay, to write anything, any text, you have to use a right range, right cell. Okay, not right range. Okay, right cell. So the right cell has the sheet name and the range and the value. Which value? Can we do some task by using the same system activity? Yeah, we are doing right. So you ask, can we do some task? You can use anything. Okay, no problem. Okay, you can use the system activities or Excel activities. Okay, no problem. The thing is, you have to based on is there any login agent concept? What is this login agent concept? So I'm not understanding. What is the login agent concept?
Like when we open two Excel sheets at the same time, one is in, we can check someone is logged in that Excel already or not.
You're saying login means opened already or not?
Yeah. Can you check like that? Is there any in Blue Prism we have a concept called login agent. We can see someone in the Excel already. If we put the login agent, it allows only one person at the time like that. Do you have anything like here?
I think we don't have. So okay, we don't have. So we just saw even though Excel is open, it is updating, right? Okay. Even though Excel is opened by someone, it is updating in that Excel, opened Excel. Understand? By
No,
using the Excel
I'm talking about the workbook activities.
workbook
Not the,
activities. Okay. So
yeah.
workbook activities, we don't have that kind of. So you're asking about. I think what I understand about on your question is. So while we're doing the workbook, while we are using the workbook activities before doing the working on the workbook activities, it has to check whether the Excel is opened by someone or not, or we have to log the Excel. Someone should not open. What you are
Yeah,
asking?
yeah, yeah, that is the question. If we know before open the workbook Excel, bot should know if someone opened or not, bot can check.
No. So there's no such type of activities as per my understanding. So there's no such type of activities. So for that, yeah. So it will anyway it will throw error. So it will throw an error. Based on the error, we have to identify. Okay. So we will send some email so the Excel is opened by someone. So normally in real times, what the people do? See the same thing. Okay. It's a really good question. So she's saying that in the Blue Prism, so they will check before whether the Excel is opened or not, and if it's not opened by anyone, it will do the process. Am I correct, madam?
Yes, yes,
That's a good
exactly
question.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Here in UiPath, so how the people do? Suppose here, if I want to mention, suppose company name. So I want to update the company name for all the other things, company name for all the things. So let me write cell under workbook, write cell. So if I just go to this Excel sheet one, and the range is like a E2 to E5. Okay. If I open that into something like that. So if I just run, what it will do, so it will throw the exception, right? So what the people are doing, so as it is anyway, if they give the dedicated mission to the robots, so we have to clean the environment first of all. That's why they are using the kill process. There is a kill process before writing, before doing this thing. They use a kill process in the properties, so they can mention the process name here. Excel. Okay, Excel is a process name. Okay, so if you just run, what it will do, first it will kill the process. First it will close the Excel. Whatever the Excels are that, it is a kill process. It is not like a save. So, okay, sometimes suddenly it will close, right? So without saving, so wherever it is. So it will kill the process and then it will do. So this see, this is empty, I'm saving, but it is open, the Excel is open, I'm running the plot. What it will do, it will kill the process. So do you observe? Excel is closed, and before doing the workbook activities. Okay, that's what the current UiPath developers are doing, because anyway, if you are doing the Excel, if you are deploy the robot in the production system, so there is a dedicated system you allocated for that robot. The robot will clean the environment. What I mean by clean the environment, it will kill all the processes which required by the robot. Okay, if the robot is working on the Excel, working on the Chrome, working on the PDF, okay. So Adobe Reader, so it will kill the processes or any document it has to work. So what we are doing, the robot, what we can do, so we can kill all the processes, so which we are going to work. So that it will, now let me open this one. So before going to update, it kill the process and it is updated the work. Understand? That's a good question. Okay, so what is the difference between the read range, read cell, or write range and write cell? Yeah. So do you understand that? So do you understand the write cell? Once was a single thing I told you. Okay, write cell. I will tell about the differences. Shravanti madam. Okay. So
Okay.
because we just learned the only write cell. Okay. So do you understand write cell? The write cell is used to write anything into the Excel, any type of text or any type of formulas we saw now. Okay. Do you all understand the write cell? Let's ping in the chat window so that we will go for the next thing. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So read cell. Okay. There is a read cell. Read. So what do you mean by read cell? So write cell is writing the any text from this from us to writing the into the cell. So it's the input to the cell, input to the Excel. But read cell is reading the data from the cell. Okay. So if you want to read any text from the cell, you can use a read cell. Excel application scope. Just using the Excel application scope and just deleting the skill process. And here, so that we can see what it is going on in the Excel. Okay, the read cell. Okay, the read cell, you just have the read cell and the cell address. Suppose I want to read this one, cell address B3, right? B3 is mentioned here, B3. Okay, here, so the read cell output is a result. Okay, so it will read the, what is the input for that read cell? The input is a sheet name and cell address. So which sheet? Which sheet? This is the sheet one, right? Which sheet you are reading, and within that sheet, which cell you are reading? Okay, so whether it is a D5 or a B3 or right. So you have to mention the range. So if you mention the range, the cell address, so what it will give? It will give the value which is there in that cell as a return to you. Okay, so while it is returning some value as output, so I'm just creating a variable to store that value. Okay, to store that value. Okay, current value, something like that. That is just display the message box. Current value. So B3. B3 is a C. I'm just running. What is a B3? See here, B3 has a 23. Understand? That is a read cell. If you want to read the cell address, that is a read cell. Okay. Now, if you want to read the read cell formula, there is a read cell formula is there. So read cell formula. So we just read the cell formula of the D4. Okay. So same thing. I'm using the D4 here also D4 4, and this output is a formula. I click on the formula out, something like that. Okay. Here I'm mentioning that value is this one plus formula is, what is it? Formula out. Okay, one message box. We'll see the same D4 D4, but we use the two things. Okay, see here, understand? The value is a 1931. That is a D4. Okay, the formula is a equal to 2020 minus B4. Understand? You can read the cells. You can read the formulas. Read cell formula. Okay, you can read the cell formulas also. That is the difference between that is a read cell and read formula. Okay. This read cell and write cell is used for the particular range. Suppose if you want to read the entire data, suppose just imagine this is not there. We have to update that one. Okay, how to update that one. So this data, this is a student records. Okay, every day someone is adding the new records like a Jagadish. Okay, 27 ESC. Okay, so like that they are adding the new records. Okay, so we don't know what is exactly the last number. Okay, so if you want to read this entire data as a table, let's remove this two. Let's remove this two. So, okay, we don't know how many columns, we don't know how many rows. Okay, so what we don't know, we don't know how many number of rows, don't know how many number of columns, but we have to read entire data in that Excel as a table. Okay, so there we are using the read range. Okay, you can read the range. So let us see here the read range. I'm just deleting this one. We'll see the read range. Okay, so read range. There is a read range activity. Both are doing the same thing. Okay, the difference is that one only. So okay, read range. In the read range sheet one, and if I want to read the something like A1 to B5, you can mention. So what is the A1 to B5? This is the A1 to B5. This data, okay, this data. Otherwise, let us take a C6. C6, that is the data, right? The current data is from the A1 to C6. Okay, so I mentioned the range and sheet name. The output of the read range is the data table. Okay, so what is the output here? You can see here data table. Okay, right click and create a data table and student dt. Student dt. This student dt is a data table you can use. So the data table to loop, or you can for each, or you can write it down. So this is a read range and write range. So the read range output is a data table. The write range input is a data table. Okay, write range input is a data table. Understand? So if you want to read the any text from the any tabular format data, the range within the range, so you can use the read range. The output of the read range is a data table as output, and the output input of the write range is a data table. So if you want to write the same data, the data within the data table to the Excel, you can use the write range. So I'm just using the write range. So the output of here, the output of read range is input for the write range here. So what is the output of the read range? Student dt. Copy this one and give here data table. Okay, and you have to mention so which sheet. So I'm just mentioning the sheet like a orders. Okay, that is the order sheet is there, right? So currently order sheet does not have anything. Okay, order sheet does not have anything. Okay, so let me run. See, order sheet has a data. Okay, currently what it reads entire data and copies here entire data. So what it is missing? So is there any difference here? There is some difference, right? It's not pasted the headers. It's not pasted the headers. Got it? So okay, so few questions and see the chart window. Can we read the multiple sheets at a time? So one by one we have to read. That is the answer. Okay, it's not at a time. Okay, so it won't work at a time. Okay, and can we read all Excels from a folder and append? Yeah, we will do that exercise when the Excel files have the same headers. Yeah, so we can append. Okay, Lakshmi Garu, we can append. Okay, we can read all the files from the folder. If you have the same type of headers, we can append the data. Okay, yeah. So now, so see the orders is it's missing the headers. So why it is missing the headers? In the write range, by default, add headers is unchecked. You have to click on this add headers if you want to add the headers for the right range. So while writing the range, if you want to add the headers also, then you have to give the, I'm just removing this data from the orders, and this sheet is having the data, orders does not have a data. So let me run. So we added the add headers. Keep in mind, okay. So now, so orders has also the headers came, right? Understand? Headers came. This has headers, this has headers. Okay. Now, if I give, what will happen if I give this one? The current student data. Okay. This sheet does not have. Okay. The Excel does not have this sheet. Okay. The Excel, how many sheets are there? We have 4 sheets. The sheet 1, HR, IT, and orders. But this sheet is not there. Okay. What will happen if I run this one? If I run this one, so it will create a sheet. If the sheet is not existed in the Excel, it will create the sheet. Okay, the sheet not existed, so it will create sheet, new sheet. Understand? And so one more thing you have to understand here is here I'm just using the Excel application scope outside here, just dragging this one, copy the same thing, but in the file name, so out student, that file name is not there in the desktop. Okay, that file is not there. How many files are there in the Excel desktop? Only one Excel file is there. Okay, here there's an error. So what it is saying, so this data table is not available here. Okay, because of the scope. Let's go here, and in the variables panel, in this data table, increase the scope to the sequence so that it will available here. Okay, so in this Excel application scope, go to the properties of the Excel application scope. So do you observe here auto save and create a new file? If we check this one, by default it is checked. Okay, if you create a new file, if that file is not existed, it will create a new for you. Okay, and read only mode and visible. If you uncheck this visible, so while it's writing and reading, it won't visible. Okay, it will do everything in the background. Okay, it won't appear the Excel pop-ups and Excel opening the Excel, these things and all. Okay, if you uncheck this one, that is a visible, this will do everything in the background. And also there is a password. So if you some Excels has a password, if you can use the password. Some Excels, if you want to open that Excel, you have to give the password. So you can provide that passwords here, or you can update the passwords here. And the output of this Excel application scope is a workbook. There is a workbook actually. Okay, workbook. And now, so I'm running. So this file is not there. Out students is not there. And let us see whether it will create out students or not, right? Can you observe here? So this out students is there, and while I'm running, the Excel is open, right? And disappeared. Did you observe? Let me rerun. Just observe. Okay, I deleted that one. So just observe. This Excel will open and read, see, and disappear. So that is a visible true. Let me remove this one. And uncheck this. There is no visible. Okay, run. Okay, this will not open Excel in the foreground, and this will do the same thing. Okay, so this opened the Excel and created this sheet name and fill the data. Okay, fill the data. So that is a write range. This is a read range. So, okay, so what if we don't know the range? Suppose when Excel file has the same headers. Okay, so what if you don't know the, let me delete something. Excel. See, this Excel has the data, right? So what I said. So tomorrow another name come. Okay, Satvik. Okay, so okay. So suppose, so this Excel has the, so if you use the same program, so it will read only from the A1 to C6. But what about the remaining data? Understand? What about the remaining data? Or what about the if they add new column called year of birth?
Sudhir, has
Yes.
you have to enter in sheet one, I think.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we have to enter in the sheet one. Okay, this is the output. Okay, thanks for thanks for this. And Satvik. Okay, 6 skg. Okay, so if you use that another column called year of birth, so this is a you don't know. You have to read the entire thing. Otherwise, there is a company name. Okay, IT org. This is IT org for all. So what I'm saying is, so you developed the bot, but the bot has a A1 to 6 C6, right? Tomorrow there might be a new records. There might be a new records. Okay, so you can't check and you can't update the row numbers. So C6 now C6 is a C7 now. Okay, or E7 because there is a updated the column also E7. Okay, if tomorrow add the new row, again you can't update the multiple times, right? So that's why if you want to read entire range, any number of columns, any number of what all the columns are there in the Excel, what all the rows are there in the Excel, if you want to read that entire data, you have to remove this range. Okay, remove this range. If you specify, if you don't specify any range in the range field that represents, so it will read entire data. So let us go to the properties panel. Where is that? Okay, so properties panel, and yeah, so it will read the entire range. So write it into the Excel. Let me remove this one. Okay, let us save. Yeah, run it. So we added the data, right? We added the data, and this out students see the titles. Okay, out student and this one having the same data, same columns, same rows. So how it okay? So how it works? Because if you don't specify the range, this means it will read the entire data, entire range. And that thing, and you can just say as it's a data table, so it's a data table, right? So you can mention the data table. So message box, you can read the data. So it's a virtual data table, so you have to imagine the data table as a, so like Excel. Suppose what is the output of this one? The read range, student dt. The student dt dot rows of, otherwise rows dot count. So what is the number of rows available? Okay, we'll see. So open, see, there is a 6 rows. Understand? How many rows are there? 6 rows or 7 rows. Ping in the chat window. 6 or 7. How many rows are there? 6. Okay. In the Excel, it is showing that row number is a 7, but the headers, you have to eliminate the headers actually. Okay. So the one row. Okay. What is the number of rows? If you don't include the headers, that is a 6. Okay, 6. In the read range also, there is a property called add headers. By default, it is a checked. Okay. If you just remove this, sometimes what will happen? Sometimes some Excels does not have a headers. So it does not have a headers. In that case, you have to use the remove the add headers. Suppose, for example, Excel does not have headers. Sometimes the value is like some age is also coming again. Okay. This age is different. Understand? This age is different. Okay. Age, how many times it is repeat? 2 times, right? The headers. So let's try to run now. So it is throwing the exception. See, so what is the exception? Read the exception first so that you will get the an idea. What is the exception message? A column named age already belonging to the same table. That means, so you should not have the columns as a duplicate headers. Okay, you should not have a duplicate column names. The column name should be a unique. So sometimes this is a real time. We are facing this type of issues. So this Excel we can't change, right? Excel is given by the some other process or some other people. They have some same headers are there. So in that time, so what we can do? So we should not consider the headers as the headers. So let's just see here. Remove the headers. Remove the headers. And while we are running, this will give the see 7. Now it is a 7. That means what it is saying, the first row is also, it is considering as the data. Okay, first row is also considering as data. Understand? So click OK, and you can see the output. Okay, open the output. You can see here. Can you observe what is the data headers? Headers, if you don't specify the headers, it automatically prepare the headers like a column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, like that. Okay. This line is also, it is treating as a data. Understand? So in this case, while we are writing, you can ignore the headers. So you can ignore the headers. If you ignore the headers, so then this will not happen, right? Okay. Let me remove. Let's run. So yeah, if you ignore the headers while you are writing, so this is the actual data. Okay, so actual data. Even though the Excel has a duplicate names, we can do that kind of work. So one thing what we can observe, one thing what we have to keep in mind while developing the robot. So maximum time. So we have to avoid the input changes. Okay. So suppose user giving this input. Okay. Every day, just imagine every day there is an Excel, student Excel in the desktop. So we have to read the range and do some modifications and write the range here. Okay. So the read range has the problem is the Excel has this one two columns has a same name. Maximum you have to do through coding. If not possible, at the end case, so you have to reach out to the client and suggest that. So you can give the suggestion. So give the only unique columns. Okay. Maximum we have to avoid that kind of thing. Okay. Now even though it is having the multiple columns has the same name, we are able to do this by using the removing the add headers. Okay, now so what are all the column names you have? Okay, what are the column names you have? So the rows you have it. I'm just checking the add headers. Okay, the rows you have, right? The rows is the rows count is this one, right? Rows count. Okay, now so earlier we updated, right? Earlier we updated this year formula, right? Okay, now also we will update the year formula. Okay, right cell, right cell, right cell, update the formula. So how can we update? Right cell, what is the formula? Equal to 2020 minus B2. That's the formula, right? B2. And where we have to update. So from the here now based on the current data in the Excel, D2 to D7. Understand? D7. And if you update the data, It will update and it will save. So this is a auto save is also there. Okay, you don't need to save separately. It will automatically save once the Excel application scope is completed. Whatever the changes you done, it will save automatically. So if you uncheck, it won't save okay, automatically. You have to save manually whenever you want. There is a save workbook. Save workbook. Just drag and drop the save workbook here. So whatever the changes here done, that will save in this point. Okay. Save workbook, just drag and drop. No need to specify any properties for the save workbook. So if you have specify auto save, so once this is done, everything whatever changes within the Excel application scope, it automatically changes. Okay. Yeah. Now it is correct. Now it is okay. The same error comes for data. What do you mean by so? Swarna garu, you write some query in the chat window. Does a same error comes for data? I missed that one. What
If
is
we
that?
duplicate the data for the same error comes the data, not for headers. The data, it doesn't come for the data, right? Only for headers, right? The error repeat the duplicates for the
No, it is
duplicate.
only for the headers. Okay, it's not data. Okay, data may have a multiple duplications. Okay, data. So see, data does not check. Okay, it's the data is blindly whether it is empty or duplicates nothing. Okay, so only for the headers. To identify the headers, we need the header name. We need the header title, right? To identify the headers, we need the header title. That header titles should not be duplicate. Got it? Or is it answered
Yeah,
for you?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So now, see here the logic. Okay. So now we are trying to update this one. Okay. But see here, the thing is what we understand. So what we basically, so as per our okay, so scenario, this Excel is updated multiple times, right? So tomorrow they may enter another thing for the history, and they can mention like a okay, so like this. Okay, understand? They can mention like this. So what is this right cell? The D7, right? D7. But up to this D7 only it will update. What about the remaining data which came today? It will ignore, right? So to do that, so the range is this one, right? The range is with this one. So let us see here, the range is this one. So D2 will not change. That is a starting point, right? D2 will not change. The colon will not change. The D will not change. So what it is changing? Today is a 7, tomorrow is a 8, day after tomorrow maybe a 15, right? This number will change. From where we will get this number? Being in the chart window, from where we will get the last row number.
Row dot count.
Yes, exactly. Okay, row dot count. Okay, so anyway, we have a row dot count, right? This row dot count will give the number. So what it will give the number? So let us see here. Run. What is the row dot count? So age is belonging to this table. So let me remove this age. Run. What is the row dot count? 7, right? But what we require here? Just observe here. Okay, D2 to D8 now. But what it is giving? 7, because it ignores the headers. So now what we have to do, we have to give the mathematical expression like a +1. Okay, always it is a +1 because we ignored the headers. +1. See here, instead of D7, the hard-coded value, we're making that dynamic. D7 plus student data dot rows dot count +1. Okay, so and this +1, and this is showing the error. I think see here, this is showing the error. So what is this error? You have to convert
This
this. Sorry.
no need to give D7 over there. Just D is fine.
D7. Okay. The thing is, if you specify the D7, today there is a 7 records, tomorrow there is a 10 records. Again, you should not come to the code and change the 7 to the 10, right? Right? Okay. So tomorrow there is a 25 records. Again, you just go and remove the 725. So what it is changing? The number, the row number is changing. The D7 instead of D7 tomorrow D10. The day after tomorrow one day D25, right? The 25 D is a common. Understand? So who asked this question just now?
Yeah, got it, got it.
Got it, right? So we are doing this mathematical expression for replacing that 7 part, that row number part. Instead of 7, 10, 10, okay, we don't know, right? How many records. So we have to make the dynamic. Okay, this will return the number. So we have to convert that into the to string. So that string plus string, it will concatenate. Okay, now let us run. It will update. So 7, it will update all the years. So what happened? Okay, remove this one. Okay. Okay, so just check where it's updated everything. First. Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow, if I just specify the Rakesh on 65 BBC. Okay. Org Girish. It automatically updating. Okay. Suppose if you just imagine if you don't have data, they don't have data. Okay. So this is our current data. Just run 9 records. It automatically updates, right? So whatever the number of records, we don't bother about that. Okay. So because we are using the read range, that means the row count. Okay. So that is a row count. So we are using, this is the dynamically you are updating. Dynamically you are updating. And the next one is suppose let's go to the HR. So A, B, and C. So A is numbers, some numbers. Some numbers are there in this HR. Okay. So you have to update this one. So 5 plus okay, so it's a add. Okay, add it's a multiplication, something like that. Multiplication. Okay, so this one you understand, right? Okay. Read range. Okay, read range. So here, once you read range, so just imagine, so you are reading the HR data. Okay, number of records you have. So while we are writing the range, so you can mention the right range, or if you want to mention something like that, something like some other values, so you can use a for each row, right? Okay, so using the for each row, for each of for not for each. Uh, Here for each row. Okay, for each row is used to for the data table. So the output of this n is a student dt. So copy the student dt here, paste here. This row, each row represents so single value. So see here, message box. I'm just using a message box to display this row of If you just specify zero or row of the mean, so what it means, this is having the data table. This represents the whole data table. Understand? So I just saw the one more message. Yeah, Lakshmi Garu, you're saying that D student dt dot rows dot count plus 2. So you can mention that, but it will extend. Okay, so suppose if you mention the student records dot count plus 2, so it will update up to this one. Okay, even though the record is not there. So actually, student records is 9 plus 1 9 plus actually 9 plus 2 equal to 11, right? Become like this. Understand your question, Lakshmi Garu?
So
So why we
11th,
have, yeah,
11th
it
row
will
also get
11th
update.
also updated unnecessarily, which
Formula.
does not have data.
The
Yeah,
formula will get updated on 11th row. Okay.
11th
Okay.
also,
Thanks.
because so we need only the update that one. We can use only 1 plus 1 is enough. Okay, plus 1
Okay.
is
Can.
enough because it is a ignoring the headers. That's
Thank
why.
you.
Okay. Yeah. This one here. Okay, this data table represent this one, and the row in the for each there is a row. This row represents this line, each line. Okay, each line. This is one row. This is one row. Okay, this is one row. This one row of, suppose row of 0. So if you want to give the row of 0 index, okay, the A will come. Okay, row of 0 is a 5, right? That is the 5 is coming. 7, 4, 9, 4, 3. Understand? The first column it is coming. First column. So row of 0 means row of first it will come as a row. Next iteration row. This is a row. Next iteration this is a row. Next iteration this is a row. Right? We're in the for each row activity. So each time. So this is a having this row of 0. Row of 0 is this one. Row of 1 is this one. Row of 2 is this one. Row of 3 is this one. Okay, it is starting from the 0. Otherwise, you can specify the column name also. Row of, in the double quotes, A or B. Row of B. Understand? Row of B. That means you specify the column name instead of the index. You can specify the column name or index, anything. But index, see, it is a B. 6, 8, 4. Understand? Okay. Here, if I want to change the color, okay, color of the cell, there is a set color and get color is there. Get cell color and set a range color. Okay, you can set the range color. Okay, so I'm just dragging that. Okay, and so drag this above. Here we will see the properties. The what is the sheet name? The sheet name is a HR, and what is the range? So can we mention the range as A? So A1 to A. So what is that? Student data table
DT.
class dot count minus 1. Sorry, plus 1. Okay, dot to string. So we will apply the one shot the whole range as a one color. The color, this color is another input. We have to specify. So what is the data type of the color? The color is a color. Okay, type the color dot. You have, if you press the dot, these are all the colors. You can mention the color name. So red or something. Okay, it will give all the red or yellow. Okay, or green. Anything you can mention. So first what we are doing, so we're just making the whole, this is a one green color, and here in the B as we are in the inside the if condition, inside the for each loop, so we will just use the if condition and check whether this value is greater than, okay, so greater than 7, that is a red. If it is a less than 7, it is a blue something. So suppose it is a black is not good. Okay, yellow. If it is a less than 7, it is a yellow. Less than 7, it is less than or equal to 7, it is a yellow. So yellow. Okay. Greater than 7, it's a red. Red. Okay. Greater than 7, red. If this is a case, suppose I'm just giving the 9 here. Okay. Understand? Based on the value you have to. So sometimes, so the thing is, based on the values, you have to update the colors. Okay. How can we do? And just okay. Here is a one shot. One shot where just giving the starting range and ending range, it's automatically converted to the green color. But the B is not like that. So we're checking one by one. So inside the for each loop, we're checking one by one. See, row of 1. Okay, row of 1 means what it will give. So it will give these columns, these cells, row of 1. So as it is a object, so we're converting into the cint. To do the mathematical expressions, we are converting into the cint. So row of is a greater than, less than, or equal to 7. Just set the color, set the color. Okay, so what is a sheet 1? That is a HR sheet. Here you have to specify the B and number, right? B. What is the numbers? The number will change continuously, right? So what we can do in the for each row, you have a output called index. Create a one variable for this one, idx something, idx or I value. This index will change continuously. Just see the idx. Just print the idx. Remove this one. So once we get the idx, so we'll see. Just running, we'll see what is the idx. So now the first one is done. First one is it's converted all the data into the green color. So first is the idx is a 0. But what is the first for us here? 2, right? What is the initial thing? Suppose B plus idx. So B0. There is no B0, right? There is no B0. What is the first column? First row? B2, right? B2. So we have to specify idx plus 2. That means 0 plus 2, 2. This is a B2. So next time B, idx is a 1. 1 plus 2, 3. B3. Okay. B2, B3, B4 like that. Okay. First initially as it is starting with the idx is a 0. We will add that idx plus 2. So let us take set range. For the set range, we're just mentioning that B and idx plus 2 dot toString. Okay, nothing. Okay, just see here. Understand? Actually, this is coming 0, 0 plus 2, B2. The next iteration it is coming 1, 1 plus 2, 3, B3. Next iteration 2, 2 plus 2, 4, right? Like that. HR and the color is a color dot yellow. It's a below. If it's the above, same thing. So otherwise we can copy from this one. Okay, copy from this one, and we're not changing anything except the value. Color dot red. Okay, color dot red. Remove the idx message box, and here instead of A1, we can specify A2. You can specify A2. Okay. Now I'm just changing the format and save it. Let me run. See, now it will update very fastly. So let me give some delay. I'm just giving the delay here in the snippets. You can just drag the delay 1 second so that we can see what it's going on. Okay, it will update the green and it will update the 6. See, so first it will read the data. If it is a less than 7, yellow, greater than 7, it is a red. Understand? So let me change the values. So 55 and 66. Now just save and run. So it will update the values. So one by one. Understand? Just see here. This is a 2. Okay. Copy the format. Yeah. Save and run it. Understand? So this is a thing. So and also the reverse. If you want to get the range, sometimes so based on the color, you have to specify if I to do the values. Okay, so based on the color. So do you have an activity called get cell color? The output of the get cell color is a color object. Okay, the color object. Okay, that is a yellow, just do this one. So if that is a red, do that like that. So this is a totally the reverse kind of set range. So set range is setting the color to the excel, and get range is getting the color to the getting the color from the cell. Okay, the output of the get color is a get cell color is a color object. Now, so after updating these values, so we will write the something like a write cell. The write cell, within the write cell HR, and here we are updating that row of 0 C int plus C int of row of 1. Okay, basically what we are doing, so we just row of 0 is this one. Okay, plus row of 1, that means 5 plus 6. So we are doing the mathematical calculation, and we're updating this whole thing, brackets, whole thing dot is to string, so whole thing into the some C what is it, plus idx plus 2, they are two string. So basically this 2 will add to 5 plus 6, it will update here. So 7 plus 8, it will update in the C3. So 4 plus 63, it will update in the C4, like that. That's what this write cell. So do the same thing, copy paste, but instead of plus, I'm just using the star. That means multiplication. But here it is not C, it is in the D, multiplication in the D, right? So use the D, only change is a D. Okay. Now let me run again. Run again. It will update the colors, and the same time it is updating the values also. This is not formula. Okay, this is a value. Okay, sometimes the requirement is not like you can update like a this one plus this one. So, okay, but this is a formula, right? This is a formula. Okay, so they don't need the formula, they need the values. Okay, so if you just see this one in the end of the excels, there is a formulas, they don't need the formulas, right? So in that case we can use it like this. This is the one way, and okay, and another way is like this. Okay, that is a fine. Okay, let me remove. I think you understand this process. Okay, here some formula, just so FFT cal value. Okay, something is there. Okay, FFT calculate value, some formula we are using that. Okay, this is plus this one divided by 0.6, okay, into 250 minus this one. Okay, so some calculation is done. Yeah. Okay, some value formulas are there. See here. So one more thing is what we are in the real times, what we have to do, some values are there, some formulas are there, but here in this excel, there is a final value is the empty. Okay, so if you just copy this one and paste here, so what it is copying again the formulas, if something is changing, the values are changing, you observe something is changing, the values in the E3 and F3, observe. Okay, it is changing. Okay, it is changing. So you should not copy the formulas, you have to copy the only the values. How can you copy the only the values? So, okay, from the one range to another range. Okay, let us see. Okay, okay, so only we have a read range. Now the thing is we have to copy the values from this one, so there is a okay, copy this one. Okay. Otherwise, let me remove comment this one also. There is an activity called copy paste range. Okay, copy paste range. Just drag and drop that copy paste range. So and so what you have to copy in the properties. Just observe in the properties. So what is the first input is the sheet name. So sheet name is a HR. HR is a sheet name. And what is the range? The range is like a E2 to E7. E2 to E7. And the destination sheet is also a HR. Destination range starting cell is a F1. Okay, F1. Sorry, F2. Right? Okay, from F2 onwards it has to paste. Copy paste range. In the copy paste range there is a copy items. In the copy items you can copy the only the values or formulas and values and format also. Sometimes you see, so we have a format also. Suppose for example this is having the format like a uppercase and something like a red color. This format is there. This is a format, right? So let us observe. So copy the values only. Okay, only values. If we just run this, see, this is updated the only the values. There is no formula here. The formula is there, but here there is no formula. Okay, only the values. So if you want to copy the formula of the cell format also, then you can copy, run. See, it is copying the values as well as the cell format. Sometimes they need the only same format from the source file. That is the cell format. If you need all the things, the number format, sometimes the numbers having the some number decimal points, decimal formats, and the formulas. So and all, if you want to select this one, remove, okay, only values, number format, everything, and you can copy the same thing like this. Okay, understand? Same thing like this. But if you want to copy as it is, the same formula, same everything, just put all, run. See, here also there is a formulas, understand? Here also there is a formulas. So as per your requirement, you have to do this is copy paste range. The copy paste range, so you have to specify the sheet name, source sheet name, and destination sheet name, source range and destination range. So that is the remaining things you just try it out. So almost yeah, so different type of yeah, this is a you can execute the macros on copy paste range. You can invoke the VBA code. Okay, there is a lot of process under the tables. Append range. So append range is basically these are common things. Okay, append range. Suppose you are just okay, this is a read range, right? You are reading the range, and so while once you read the range, so we can do what we can do. We can append the range. Sorry, append the range. Okay, append the range into the IT. Okay, IT does not have anything. IT. Okay, this one append range, the output of this read range is the output of input for the append range. Append range. Append is basically the appending the data. Now run. What it will do? It will read the range. See, and I think copy paste. So if I rerun again, it will append. See, it is appending. It is going to the end of the line and append the data. So you don't need to specify the last row. So by using the append range, that's what. So earlier, someone in the chat window, someone told that. So how can we loop each and every file from the folder and append the data? Suppose if you have a city something, so folder is there, so you have a data like this one. Okay, cities, Bangalore students, and copy paste Chennai students, copy paste Ongole student. There's a lot of records are there. So Ongole students, if you just change this one to the Hari and so Hari Krishna and Swaroop. Okay, these are Ongole students. Okay, just imagine. So Chennai students. So just imagine Kasim and Raghavendra, something like that. Okay, Ongole students. So if you just loop each and every file from this folder and append this data, so how can we do? So just first thing is for each. Just drag the for each, go here and string in this text the value directory dot get files, right? Get files of this path in the double quotes. Okay, this is the item is a file name. Okay, so within the file we're just using the Excel application scope. Okay, so here, so file is the path of the file. Each file. First it will come as Bangalore, next it will come as Chennai, next Ongole, like that. So next one is the read range. So read range. So all having the same Excel sheet, I think, the sheet one only. Okay, all having the same type of data structure, but the thing is, so you have a different type of data, but the fields are same. Create a data table like a current city dt, current city dt. So you can append. So where you can append, or you can append the range. You should have a common Excel, right? All cities. This does not have a data. Okay. Remove this enter data. Append data. But to append the data, so we have to
Sudheer,
use the
hello. Actually,
yeah.
the all cities file can we keep outside? Because if you keep inside city, it will read all files also.
Yeah, that's good point. Okay. Good point. Thank you. Yeah, you're correct. It will read all files also. Right click and copy as a path here, append range, sheet 1, and the data table is a student entity. But everything is in the under for each loop only. See, this is under for each loop only. See, here we are reading, and here we are appending. Okay, let's run. Object reference not set to an instance of object. Okay, so what object it is not set? Sheet 1 data table, and which object? This having this one current, current city dt. Current city dt. This is a different, right? Current city dt, you just expand the scope, and in append use the current city dt. Right. Running. Okay, done. So open the Excel. If you see here, so it's updated this one. Okay, everything is updated. It's updated from all the things. Okay, all the things. Got it? Okay, so that is for today. So that today the exercise for you is okay. So what you can do, do the same thing. So do the same thing like a name. Okay, so product name and product name or city. So product name, which product, and city name. So just imagine, so we're just selling some products. Okay, so suppose Lenovo mobile, okay, or Samsung mobile. So the number is this one. Okay, this product, the city names Ongole, and what is the today's sale. So today is like a date, and what is the date? 2000 slash 03 slash 31. So what is the sale? Okay, number of items sale. Okay, and profit. Okay, so this is the one Excel. You just create by yourself. So I'm not going to copy this one into the folder. You just create by yourself. Okay, so this is the number of sale is a 5. The profit is a 5,000. Okay, for today. So just imagine this is a today's today's only. Okay, Chennai. You have profits like a 600. And so actual expected profit. That is the expected profit is a, suppose it is a expected profit is a 6,000. Suppose 6,000. Expected profit for each city is a 6,000 only. Okay, 6,000. So some values are less than 6,000. Some values are higher than 6,000. Okay. Okay. So if it is a some values is less than, some values is meeting the 6,000. Meeting the 6,000. Suppose this is a, so here if this is a meeting the not meeting the 6,000, so you can make this as a red. That means it's not met the actual profit. Okay, so this is a green. So because it is a met the it's a yellow, so just make that yellow. Okay, yellow means so both it's a meet the expectation. This is a red. This is all red. This is exceeded more profit than the expected. Okay, 9,000, and that is a green. Okay, wherever it is a more profit, that is a green. Wherever it is a more profit, that's a green. Okay, wherever it is a more profit, let's change the color to the green, and remaining red. This is a red. So this is the expected yellow. This is the red. This is a red. Okay, understand the today's exercise? What you have to do? Yeah, we will see. So some questions, how can we color duplicate values in the range? So you have to compare, you already did. So Anup is asking, so how can we compare, how can we color duplicate values in the range? So basically we can compare. If you have shortcuts, yeah, you can do the shortcuts based on that. Okay, so you can use the send hotkeys. And next question is, how can we compare two Excel files and find the differences in the values based on the particular column? Now we will see that in the next classes. Please save the notepad file and keep it for our reference. So anyway, the thing is, so I can't able to copy. I'm just copying the whole text into the chat window. So you can copy that text, okay? For your reference, whatever we discussed, I copied into the chat window. Okay. Now, so this is an exercise for you, okay? So product profit data, okay? Product profit data, coloring based on the expected profit, and the profit you have to color that records. Okay. We will see the next part tomorrow. So how can we filter? How can you conditional based things, these things. Do you have any questions? Do you have any doubts about this exercise and today's class? Yeah, so just ping in the chat window. So how can we read the particular cell value? Which activity we have to use to read the particular cell value? Just ping in the chat window. Or read cell, how can you read cell? Okay, read cell activity. Okay, so how can we read entire data? So we don't know the how many number of rows are there. So how can we read the entire data from the Excel sheet? Which activity we have to use? Read range. Yeah, read range. Read range, in the read range, if you specify the range as empty, that will read the entire data. Yeah, correct. Okay. So one question, so normally the use case, so people ask like so if it's a name and age, so it's a voter or not, or not. So okay, not. So if this is having the names like a Arun, Varun, Kiran, okay. So if the ages are like a 12 and 34, 6 and 20, suppose 14. So if the age is less than 18, no. Is greater than 18? Yes. Voter, right? No. So the question is like this. So there is a data, there is a lot of data is there in the Excel. It has a name and an age and the voter, but the voter column is empty. That is empty. So the robot has to fill the values. So in the C column, so based on the B column. So do this exercise also. Do this exercise also. So take a column, take a data, dummy data, and do this exercise also. So the approach is, so you have to read the range first of all. Okay. So once you read the range, you have a data table. You can loop the data table, and you have an index. So IDX, okay, index. So create that index and so in the for each row activity, use the right cell activity C in the double quote C plus the rows dot count in IDX plus 2. Okay, that will give the C2 first, C3 next, C4 like that. Okay, and at the same time, so as you are in the as you are in the for each row activity, you can read the B column values by using the row of B age, okay, in the double quotes, or row of 1. Understood? Row of 1. Okay. So that is a second exercise. That means voter or not validation. Okay. So voter or not validation. That's the second exercise. And yeah. So do you have any doubts? So what is the difference between normal Excel activities and workbook activities? Okay. So that is the main question. The differences, again, I'm telling that. So here the differences is like a what we have. The first difference is a MS Office software should be installed while you are using the activities under app integration. That is, the software is not necessary for the workbook activities. So the second difference is, even though Excel is open, it will work. But here the robot is, while robot is running, we should take care of closing the Excel processes. So the third one is all activities is independent, you can use, but here is not independent. It has a within the Excel application scope. The next one is the formula range. So if you want to apply the formulas, it is better to use the Excel application scopes activities, Excel activities, not like this. Okay, not the workbook activities. And that is a common difference. At least you have to tell three or four, three differences. Okay, three differences. Okay, so how can we set the color to the Excel cell? Okay. Which activity we have to use? How can we set the color to the Excel cell? Which activity you use? Set the color. Set, not get the color. Okay, set cell color. Okay, set cell color. Okay, next one. So next one is so in the production system, there is no MS Office is installed. Which activities you prefer to do Excel automation? So in my production system, there is no MS Office software installed. Okay, which activities you prefer to? Okay, good. Workbook activities. Okay, system file workbook activities. Perfect. Okay, sometimes so in the production system also used by the some other robots also using the same Excel. So there is a see, so just imagine there is a shared folder, network shared folder is there. Within that there is a input.xlsx is there. Okay, that's input.xlsx is used by another bots also. I don't know, we don't know what time the robots are executing and what time the robots are accessing that file. So in that same Excel we also has to use in our robot. So what activities you prefer? Kill process is not good answers. Okay, kill process is not good answer because some other robots also using the same Excel in the same time, right? If you use a kill process, this will disturb the, that means this will be a problem for the other robot work also. Okay, Excel application scope is a, yeah, perfect thing. Understand? I think yeah, got it. Okay, so okay, so kill process is not a good thing. Kill process is only when we are using the only dedicated to that system. That Excel is only dedicated to that Excel and that process, that system itself also. Okay, dedicated to basically that is what happening. Okay, in the real time. In the real time, so people use the dedicated system because the robot can do the work in that particular system only, right? So while they are giving the dedicated systems, we are using the kill process before doing the workbook activities. Okay, so the final last question. If suppose I want to write the data from one Excel to another Excel. Suppose so one Excel means just imagine the final year students dot XLSX to the students dot XLSX. Okay, so there is a source file is a final year student dot XLSX. The destination file is a students dot XLSX. But in the C drive, this is happening in the C drive slash some Excel inputs folder. Okay, these two files. Okay, but the input file is there. Suddenly, the output file is deleted by someone. Again, I'm telling the same. Okay, so the scenario. So the robot will read the data from final year students.xlsx and it will write the data into the students.xlsx. Okay, so the robot is working fine. One day some person deleted the student.xlsx file. So what will happen if the robot runs? Will it throw exception? The destination file is not there, or what will happen? Others, please answer. Ping in the chat window. Excel for application scope activity used to eliminate these issues. Okay, if you use the application exception, it will create a new Excel file. Perfect. Okay, so if you use a Excel application scope, yeah, it will create a new Excel, even though Excel is not there. Okay, so can we access the can we read the Excel, can we read the data from the Excel, the cell data from the Excel, if the Excel has a password protected? Can we do that one by using the robots? If the Excel is a password protected, we can do, right? In the Excel application scope, you have a field called password. You can pass the password. Okay, perfect. I think you all understand. Good. So do you have any questions? Can we wind up the call?
Sudhi, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. See, actually, my workflow, I'm using workbook because the robot running side, there is no MS Access, MS Excel. I'm using workbook. I schedule it. The robot is running the workflow. Suddenly, someone open the work. Suddenly, someone open some workbooks or some Excel. So that time, out of my Excel, partially the data posted inside an application. So partially success, partially unsuccess. So how next time how can we give solution in this scenario? How can we educate the workflow? You already posted this much transaction. You have to start from this transaction. How can we educate the robot?
Yeah, basically, so you are saying two things are what I observed. Two things. One thing is, so if you have to append the lines from that Excel, so if you have to update the 10 lines, so suddenly someone is kill the Excel process after adding the 5 lines. So how can the robot knows in the next time? So it has to start from that 5th row almost, right? That's the one thing. So one thing, anyway, you know the number of records what to update. Okay, so you have to build the logic like a, so go for the end row and update. Okay, or the within that cell. Suppose if you see here, it is updating, right? It is updating the data in the screen. It is updating the data. So it is updated like a yes, no, yes. Suddenly in this place, it is a they kill the process. So they stopped. Again, it has to start from this one. Okay, so you don't want to start from this one. You have to start from this place. That is the one question, right? You're asking?
Correct.
Okay, so on that time you have to take the entire data. Suppose what is the entire data is 11 rows. Okay, 11 rows. So then so this will come in the coming sessions. So you have to take only this data, C data. Okay, so the C data, what is the column number? 3. So this minus 3, you will get that
9.
8.
Okay. 8.
Okay. is 8. This 8 minus. So now 11 minus. Okay. So now you can perform from this one. Okay, from this one. So anyway, you get the 3, right? 3 plus 2. So you have to add the plus 2 and perform from this one. Okay, this will get in the coming days, coming sessions. There is a data table concept. Okay, so that will have a filter data and remove data duplicates. These things and all coming. Okay, so we will see that part in the coming sessions. It's okay.
See, actually,
So
we
it
have to
has
go to the workflow and change the workflow. We need to do some changes in workflow, or how?
no, we are not going to change any workflow. We have to make the bot to respond in all type of situations. Okay, so
Okay.
we have to. So sometimes, usually in the real time status column. Okay,
Mm.
success, fail. Okay, success, fail. Okay, so success. So like that. So suddenly, so in
Mm-hmm.
these places, and robot has an exception, it will stop the execution. So
Mm.
next run, it has to start from this one, not start from this record. Okay, because this record's already processed. Okay,
Mm.
this has to process from the where it is not yet started the process. Okay, so that thing and all we will see. So we have to take a read range, and we have to take this column as alone, and check the number of columns. This number of columns minus the whole columns. Okay, 11 minus 3, it will come as a the whole column, then it will come as a 5. Okay,
Okay. Show me later.
yeah, okay, that is the one
Show
thing.
me
And
how to handle
another
this
thing what
scenario.
you are so another thing what you are asking is, so if someone is kill the processor, basically, as I am saying from starting onwards, we're just using the dedicated systems for robots. Okay, so no one can not access while the robot is running. So it's like a, so you log into the system, so I'm also trying to log into the same RDP system. What it won't allow, right? So like that. So otherwise, if you're using the robot, you're using the same system, the same time robot is also running, it is doing the same type of thing, how the humans are opening the same time in the same robot, the same mission. Okay,
Okay. Okay. And one more
it won't
question.
allow.
Actually, I run my robot. Sometimes I'm getting output error message in output. Where can I see that UA element cannot find this kind of output? Where can I see in a file format in under log file? Where can I find this message?
No, so you are asking that. So while I'm getting the errors, so I'm able to see in the output panel. So while
Output
I'm
panel.
developing, okay, developing the robot. If it is in the production systems, how where can I see? I can't open the studio and open the output panel, right? That is your question. Is that is your question, or?
Just I want to see the some error I'm seeing. See, actually I'm trying I'm developing on workflow. I'm running that workflow. I'm seeing error. Suddenly I'm seeing error. UA element not found.
That error you can see in the output panel. Yeah.
Output
Once you
in the
click on
output
the
panel.
box, yeah, if you just open the output panel, you can see that errors.
I
Okay.
want to see that file in Excel format. Is that possible?
You want to see that in Excel format, so you just
Yeah,
write the
output.
Excel. Write the Excel. Okay. In the try and catch. So in the coming sessions, so we can get the.
Because
I will tell
dynamically
you.
every time the error message, output error message is changing. So how can I save all the error message in Excel sheet?
Yeah. So that's the thing. So you see, so you can create an Excel file. Okay. The errors are an error messages. So the robot, which robot is running. So when it runs, and so what process it runs, and what is the Excel status, whether it is a status, okay, whether it is a success or not, if it is a fail, what is the exception, okay, exception message. So robot, this time it ran, every time it will add the new record. So if the exception comes, it will add the exception here. Okay, so you just do that the same thing. Okay, so
Okay.
you can use that. Okay, you know how to write a cell, how to write data, right? Okay, you can do that.
Okay, show me in later time. Writing exception also just help me. show me how to write
So
exception
writing
also.
exception, see, it's not like a writing exception. Okay, the
How
writing a
to,
text into the cell is the right cell. That's it. Okay, that is the one part. Okay, so getting the exception is a there is an exception handling concept is there. Okay,
okay,
within that
okay,
exception handling, you can get the exception as a one string.
okay,
That string you can write into the this right cell. So you have to combine the exception handling part and the right cell
excellent,
activity.
right selectivity. Okay, okay. We will see that in the time of exception handling. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So Trinad is saying the last date of the free advanced UiPath certification ends on this month. Yeah. So if you want to do the certification, but the certification to do certification certificate.uipath.com. If you go to the certificate.uipath.com, this gets your advanced development developer certificate in as a free until the 30th of April. See, so it's a change, Trinad. Okay, they changed maybe because of this Corona. Okay, maybe, yeah. They extended one more month, I think. Earlier it is the 31st March, I think. Yeah. The April 30th. Yeah, okay. How many chances to take a exam? These are the 3 chances they will give they will give. Okay. You have okay, so up to April. Okay, so maybe up to before April we will try to complete some more and more concepts, so that you will get the knowledge on how to complete this certificate. Meanwhile, you just try with the some dummy emails. Go to the login and try with the your emails, and anyway they will give the 3 chances. The first one is a questions quiz, and just check the questions from that. Okay. We'll get some practice. Okay, what if the person not qualified in 3 items? So Avantikari, you're asking, so what if a person qualified? Not qualified in 3 attempts. So I don't know. So now what they are doing, but earlier is what they are doing. So if we send the request mail to that some particular email, so they will give them 3 more chances. Okay, they will extend the 3 more chances. But now I don't know. So I done in 2018. Yeah, someone is speaking.
Dummy email address, right?
Yeah. They can extend 3 more, so 3 more chances if we send a request mail. I think okay, so from 2018 December onwards they are extending that this date, okay, from December 2018 to March to July, so July to December 2019 December to again March, again now April. Okay, so you just try it out. It's no problem. Yeah, theoretically easy. So practical exam is also there. So okay, within that April 30th, I will try to complete this. What's that? RE framework, queues, these things and all. Okay. Any more questions? Yeah. If no questions, yeah, we can wind up the call. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thanks. Bye.